Welcome back, my dear children. Now we are going to do the next set of letters of the alphabet. We've done till E. What comes after E? It's F. Which letter is this? This is letter F. Now I want you to look at this. Can you see this fish here? This is an inflatable toy. What do you mean by inflatable toy? Inflatable toys are toys in which you blow air. You blow air and it becomes a big toy. Okay. So this is an inflatable toy. You use such toys especially as floats when you go for a swim. Okay. You've seen there is a small nozzle there and you blow air from it. So this fish, when the nozzle was opened by this mouse, what happened? All the air came gushing out, and what sound did it make? It made this sound. Come on, repeat after me. Right? So the sound of letter F is okay. So what you're doing? You're pressing the toy like this so that the air is coming out and it is making the sound. Okay. So the sound of letter F is. So what comes for F? You can say F, fish, F, fan, F, fingers. Yes. Coming on to the next letter. Which letter is this? This is letter G. Okay. G as in goat, G for gold, G for God. Yes. So I am going to tell you a story for this. Okay. There is a girl here. Okay. And there was blockage in her bathroom sink. All the water was it was stored here. It was not going down the drain. There was some blockage in the pipes. So what did she do? She called the plumber. Okay, she called the plumber and the plumber helped her to clean the pipes. And then the water that was stored here went guggling down. What sound did it make? It made the sound g, 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 g. So the sound of this letter G is g, g, g. You must have seen this ripple that form when water goes down the drain. Have you ever seen it? Okay, so the sound of this letter G is g, 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 and the action is like this, as if there are ripples forming and the water is going down the drain. Okay, now we'll go to the next letter. Which letter is this, children? You know, this is H. This is H. H for hat, H for hen. Yes. So letter H. Have you ever tried a hopping race? Have you ever tried a hopping race? These kids here were doing a hopping race. Okay. And they were hopping on one leg. They were racing. And after finishing the race, they were so tired that they started panting. How were they panting? They were saying, what sound were they making? The sound of letter H is, what are you supposed to do? You have to keep your hand like this and say, when you get tired, you say that, right? Very good. So the sound of letter H is. Now we are coming to the next sound. Which letter? Letter I. Yes, letter I. Now let's hear the story of letter I. Can you see this mouse here? Okay, he is a very naughty mouse, very naughty mouse. And what was he doing? This is Iqbal and this is his pet mouse. So this mouse was so naughty that he did not listen to Iqbal and he was jumping here, there, everywhere, okay, all around the house. And then the mouse went and jumped on Iqbal's father's desk, working desk, and in that there was a ink pot. He jumped on the ink pot too, and what happened? All the ink spilled on the mouse and he became all inky. He was all in the color of ink. So Iqbal looked at him and said, inky mouse. What did he say? Inky mouse. So what is the action of the sound I? It's, we'll keep our fingers like this and say inky mouse. Okay. The sound of letter I is inky mouse. I for igloo, I for insects. Yes. Now we'll come to the next letter. Do you know which letter is this? This is letter J, right? J for jelly, J for jam, J for jug, and the sound of J is like this. See, can you see this girl here? This girl's mother made jelly for her. What did she make? Jelly. Do you like jelly too? Yes? Good. So she made jelly for her, and when she was getting it to serve it to the girl, the jelly was wobbling like this. Yeah, it was jiggling. Okay. So how does a jelly jiggle? Come on, show me. Like this, right? So what is the sound of J? It's jelly, right? Jam. The sound of J is right? You have to wobble like a jelly. Okay? So the sound of letter J is Good. Now in the next video we'll come up with the next letters of the alphabet. Bye. The next letter is letter K. Now you remember the sound of C, children? Do you remember the sound of C? What was the sound of C? It was k, right? And what was the action? It was like this. Now K has the same sound and the same action. So both of them share the sound and share the action. So again for K we have the same action. Let's do it. Okay, so now we know this sound and the action of letter K as well. Now, which is the next letter? The next letter is letter L. Now, how many of you would like to lick a lollipop? Have you ever licked a lollipop like this child here? So there is a birthday party going on and they are having a good time and they are all having a lollipop in their hand. See? And what are they doing it? They are licking the lollipop. So how do we lick the lollipop? How do we lick it? So the sound of letter L is L. Here is the capital L. This is a small L. So what is the sound of L? It's L. Just like you are licking a lollipop. The next sound is of letter M. Okay. Now children, what is your favorite food? Can you think of your favorite food? What is it? Okay. Okay. So whenever you're thinking of your favorite food, how do you feel? You feel How do you feel? You feel like doing Similarly, there is a boy here and he's very hungry and his mama is going to get him some yummy food. And what is he thinking in his mind? He's thinking of the food and saying So the sound of M is And what is the action? You rub your hand on your tummy like this and say Okay. Now the next letter. The next letter is letter N. N for nose, N for nest. Okay. Now letter N. Can you see this picture here? What do you see? You see a girl playing near the pond and her grandfather is fishing, right? So what happens? They see a plane that is moving in the sky. So this girl tries to copy the sound of the plane. How does a plane move, children? Can you tell me how does a plane move? You spread your arms like this and say just like a plane. So the sound of letter N is and what is the action? You spread your arms like a plane and say Very good. Come on. Now let's go to the last letter of this group. The letter is letter O. Now you see the picture here. What do you see? You see two children sharing a bunk bed. Okay. There is one brother and a sister. Now the brother wants to read a book while the sister wants to sleep. And they cannot decide on whether to keep the light switch on or off. So they are fighting over the switch. The brother is switching it on and the sister is switching it off. They are switching it on, off, on, off, on, off, off. The sound of letter O is O, O, O. You make an O with your mouth and say O, 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 O. And your action is like you are switching on and off a switch. Come on, let's do it together. O, 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 O. Sound of letter O is O. Thank you. Hello my dear children, I am back with some more sounds. We have done sounds from A to letter O. Today we are going to do the next batch of letter sounds. Today's first letter sound is this. Come on children, which letter is this? This is P. Now let's look at this story. Okay, there is a birthday party going on. Okay, this boy's name is Prince. Okay, Prince is celebrating his birthday and he has a nice beautiful pink cake. Okay, and there are lots of candles on the cake. He's trying to blow the candles. He tried it once, but he could not blow the candles. Then he asked his friends to help him. Okay, so all his friends were sitting there and they all tried together. They did it and they could blow the candles. So the letter sound of P is, you have to hold your finger like this and say okay. So coming to the next letter sound. Now the next letter is Q. But you know something children? U is the best friend of Q. So Q will never go anywhere without its best friend U. So Q and U are always seen together. Okay. So we have a boy playing near the pond. Okay. There is a pond here and a boy is playing and he could see some ducks. And what did he do? He tried to imitate them. How was he imitating? He said quack, quack, quack. So the sound of Q and U together is quack and the action is like this. Quack, quack, quack. Okay. Now we'll go. Hello everyone, I am Samruddhi and I am back with some more sounds. Today's first letter is letter V. Okay, so we can see a man, a driver whose name is Vic, and he's driving his van through the village and he's passing by the vegetable shop and he's waving at his friends saying hi, hi. And while he's driving the van, what sound is the van making? Do you know what sound does the van make? It's okay? Come on everyone, do it with me. It's so the letter sound of V is and you have to do the action of driving a van. Okay, now the next letter is letter W. Okay, it's W. Okay, so now a man is walking in a on a very windy day, okay, and it is so windy that all his coat, his hat and his umbrella is flying off. And what sound is the wind making? Do you know? The sound is wah, wah, wah. So the sound of letter W is wah, 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 and this is the action of letter W. Wah, wah, wah. Coming to the next letter, it's letter X. So there is a little boy here, and he's fallen down and he's injured his arm. Okay, and he got an X-ray done, and what happened? He found out that his bone was broken. So there was a friend of his, and he had a toy camera, and he pretended to take an X-ray of this boy. Okay.